Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GRE. We have been solving GRE math problems out of this book here, Official Guide to the Revised GRE, the second edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 228. Please turn to it. Page number 220. Page number 228 is where we were yesterday. On page 228, if you look at it, please turn to page number 228. On page 228, you see a couple of inequalities that we solved yesterday, 2.5.1 and 2.5.2. Those are the ones that we solved yesterday on page 228. Today, we're going to do a problem, a very similar problem that you will find on page number 157. If you will turn to page number 157, problem number 8, you will see that it's a very similar problem dealing with inequality. It's a problem that appeared in the first edition of the revised GRE. We have solved everything in this book. We have solved every single math problem from the first edition of the revised GRE. If you're interested in watching the original solution, you will find the solution to this problem on day number 59 and also on day 282. Let's take a look at it. So we are not on page 228, we are on page number 157. Page number 157, and it says 2 minus 5x is less than or equal to negative 6x minus 5 over 3. Now, you have to pay attention here. We have to pay very close attention, because otherwise you're going to miss it. This negative is by itself, which means this entire thing is in front of it. This entire quantity is being multiplied by a negative 1. That's what that is. The very first thing we want to do is to get rid of this 3 from the bottom. Let's get rid of this 3 from the bottom. Let's multiply both sides of the inequality by 3. And if you do that, you can cross out this 3. So now what we're left here is 3 times 2 minus 5x, which is less than or equal to negative 1 times 6x minus 5. Let's open the parenthesis. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15 with a negative sign in front of it, so it's negative 15x is less than or equal to negative 1 times 6 is going to be negative 6x, and negative 1 times the negative 5 is going to be positive 5. Now what we have to do is bring all the x's on one side and all the constant on the other side. So let's add 6x to both sides, and let's subtract 6 from both sides. That's it, we are almost there. So negative 15x and a positive 6x is going to give us negative 9x is less than or equal to, and this negative 6x is going to cross out with this positive 6x. Here we have positive 5 and a negative 1, that gives us negative 1. Now we need to divide both sides of the inequality by negative 1, so that we can get rid of this negative. But as soon as you divide both sides of the inequality by a negative number, we have to switch the direction of the inequality, which is what we learned yesterday. So this less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to. That's it, we're done. So this, why are we dividing it by 1? We don't want to divide by 1. We want to get rid of this 9. We're not interested in getting rid of this 1. We want to get rid of this negative 9. So this negative 9 and this negative 9, they drop out, and x is greater than or equal to negative 1/9. Very good, that's our answer. X is greater than or equal to negative 1/9. Out of these 5 answer choices that you see there, something has gone wrong drastically. You see, we're dividing both sides by negative 9. I have a negative 9 here, but I have a positive 9 here. So we have a negative 1 divided by negative 9, it becomes positive 1/9. So x is greater than or equal to 1/9. So you see, we divided both sides by negative 9. Here I divided by negative 9, because this here on the top we had negative 9. So we divided bottom by negative 9. We have to divide this side by negative 9 also. And negative 1 divided by negative 9 is going to give us a positive 1/9. Let's see which one of those 5 answer choices does the job. Which one of these 5 answer choices depicts this situation where x is greater than some positive value. it will be answer choice B, except the difference is here we have greater than or equal to. Because we have equal to sign, this circle has to be closed. Had this problem appeared in the exam, these circles would have been closed. And the answer is B. The answer is B. So again, as just like yesterday, the only thing that we have to keep in mind is that if, let's put it on the top here. If we multiply or divide both sides of an inequality, if we multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, just like we did here, we divided both sides of the inequality by a -9 by a negative number, then the direction of inequality switches. Then the direction of the inequality switches. This is one simple thing that we have to keep in mind, and yet that is the only reason why a lot of the people, I shouldn't say that is the only reason, that is probably the biggest reason why people get mess these problems up. They muck them up because they forget this one thing, and they of course invariably end up picking the wrong answer. Let's do one more, Shil. Let's do one more. The next problem that we're going to do is actually does not appear, and it does not appear in the book at all. It does not appear in the book, but it is something that we did on day number 60. It's the same thing that we did on day number 60. If you want to watch the original solution at a slower pace, you will find it on day number 60. And here's the problem. 3 minus 7x is less than 2x minus 3 over -2. Now the very first thing we have to do is to somehow get rid of this -2 from both sides. How do we do that? By multiplying both sides of the inequality. We want to get rid of this -2. We do that by multiplying both sides of the inequality by -2. But as soon as we multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number, or divide both sides of the inequality, if we multiply or divide both sides of the inequality by a negative number, like we just did here, we're multiplying both sides of the inequality by a negative number, we have to keep in mind the direction of the inequality has to be switched. That's it. That's the very first thing we should do. And in yesterday's video we explained why that is. Do you understand? So if you want to see the explanation, you can watch yesterday's video. So -2 times 3 is -6, and -2 times a -7 is going to give you positive 14x is greater than rather, and this -2 is going to cancel out with that -2, but that was the whole bloody point. And here we end up with 2x minus 3. The rest is very simple. We have to get rid of this 2x from this side, bring it on this side. Let's subtract 2x from both sides. So here we have positive 2x, here we have negative 2x. And you want to bring the 6 to that side, let's add 6 to both sides. Rest of the stuff does not change. Everything else that you do when you're solving an equality, when we're solving an equation, those exact same rule will apply when you're solving an inequality. Nothing else changes except this one rule. -6 and a positive 6, they're going to drop out. Positive 2x and a negative 2x, they're going to drop out. Here we are left with 14x minus 2x is going to give us 12x, and here we have -3 and a positive 6 is going to give us positive 3, and it's greater than sign. We have to get rid of this 12 here. Let's divide both sides by 12. And since we're dividing by a positive number, we can do it right here because the direction of the inequality is not going to switch. that drops out the 12, and here we left with x. X is more than 3 over 12, which is 1/4. So x is more than 1/4. X is more than 1/4. And which of these 5 answer choices? Which of these 5 answers? Which of these? First of all, first thing we have to understand is that this says less than, greater than, greater than. These are not. There is no equal sign in it, which means all of these circles have to be open circles. They cannot be closed circles. They have to be open circles. Don't confuse my open circle with zeros. These are the zeros. These are zeros. So x is greater than 1/4. Which one of these 5 situations that are depicted there show us this situation where x is greater than some positive number. X is greater than some positive number right here. That's the positive number right there. And x can be anything that it wants to be as long as it's greater than that positive number. It cannot include that positive number. Circle is not closed. Circle is open because it's greater than that. So the answer in this case would be C. Answer is C. X is greater than some positive number. So in the real exam, they're not going to give you any numbers here. They're asking you to pick one answer choice that applies to this inequality. And the number line that applies to this inequality is the one that is depicted in answer choice C. X is greater than some positive number. That's it. I will see you tomorrow, where we will move on to something different. I don't know what that something different is. Yes. Tomorrow we'll talk about a very important topic, and that topic is what is a function. It seemed like a very simple and straightforward question, and yet a lot of people have a very tough time grasping the concept of a function. What is a function? Intuitively, on a gut level, what does it mean when you say this is a function? That's what we're going to discuss tomorrow. Okay? A very fundamental concept in mathematics. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.